Hey everyone, today I'm going to explain you how to create an agrarian insurance product using the DIVA app. Um, so before we start, you will have to interact with the Ethereum blockchain or its network Girly. So you will need to have some assets. So you will need to have some Girly ETH which you can obtain if you visit our documentation and then under guides, DIVA app training prepare, you see two faucets. So a faucet is basically like a wallet that would send you some test assets for free. So you can use the Paradigm one. You basically go here, you paste your address, and then you see that on Girly you'll receive 0.5 ETH and some wrapped ETH, which is an ERC20 token. Um, Right. So I've done all of that before in order to not spend too much time on that and focus on the actual process of creating the product. So if you don't know yet how to access the DIVA app, it's app.diva.finance. So if you click that, you basically get to the markets page by default where you see all the products that are available for trading. Now, if you want to create your own product, you can click on this plus sign and then you get redirected to this form where you can define your product. So I'm going to uh, create a product that will compensate the farmer if the rain amount falls below a certain threshold. So rain amount will be in milliliters, will be our reference asset. And let's choose an expiration date that is very close to the current time. So it's let's do 8 a.m. So basically it will expire in 9 minutes. And we define the payout. So let's assume that the farmer needs at least 500 milliliters of rain um, over a certain period of time. Now, um, we basically want to create a payoff that benefits the farmer if the rain amount falls below 500. So basically, we want to customize or, yeah, um, tailor-made the short curve that you see here, the short payoff profile. So what we can do is we can set these values. The cap is basically the value where the short position token will pay out 0 and the long one 1. And the floor is basically the opposite. That's where the short side will get the maximum payout of 1 and the long side will 0. This is indicated here by the two charts that are crossing each other and add up to 1 if you sum them up. So let's assume we want to have like this payoff profile, right? So if it falls below 500, the payoff for the farmer goes up linearly um, according to how far below this 500 it is, and it will hit the maximum payout of 1 per token when it hits 300. So basically we're saying, okay, if it hits 300 or below, then it's really bad and we have to compensate um, the farmer in full. Now, so this part, event and payoff type, basically define the product. Now we have to put the cover amount, that we want to pay out to the farmer. So let's assume we put in $1,000. So this is an ERC20 token, so you can also choose wrapped ETH, which you receive from Paradigm, for instance. In that case, we used a test token that we're using during the testnet, which is called DUSD, and we will deposit $1,000 from our own account into the pool, and in return, we will get these two positions. So combined, these positions represent a claim on these $1,000, so I could go back and give it and return my collateral. However, if I just own one side, for instance, I transfer the other side to someone else, then it's sort of like a conditional claim. So I could end up getting zero, or I could end up getting everything. All right. Here at the bottom right, you also see different scenarios that I just described, and yeah, you can basically confirm here that the payout you're constructing is exactly how you want it to be. So now we're talking a lot. Let's extend maybe um, the expiration time. Or maybe one additional point. So now in this example, we're using a very simple reference asset. However, there may be cases where it's a little bit more complicated and you may want to add or attach or reference a separate fact sheet where, on that data point. For instance, how to source the data, what data point to take, right? Maybe some calculations that you need to do before uh, deriving that value. So all these things can be done off-chain, and then you could say generate an ID for that data point and just data ID XYZ and just reference that fact sheet basically here in this data in this reference asset field. So for now, we focus on the rate amount. So now you are done. The only step left is the address that will report the final value, basically the rain amount when this product expires. And now let's take our own address. So we will report it ourselves. You could also, it's just for demonstration purposes. I mean, it's obviously not ideal if you have one individual reporting that value, or if you rely on one individual reporting that value, that individual could lose access to their wallet. I don't know, might get hacked or whatever, something happens to that person, right? So you ideally want to go with a decentralized solution like Teleprotocol, which we're integrating into DIVA, where you are not depending on one reporter, but everyone in the world can report and settle the pool. So for demonstration purposes, I just choose mine, my address. And now that's basically it. So you have defined all the inputs that you need to create a product. And here in step 3, you basically are asked to review whether everything is correct. All right, so now you have to prove it's basically you have to prove that the smart contract DIVA protocol can move your 1000 DUSD into the DIVA protocol. It's ERC20 specific, so I don't want to go too much into detail here. Um, yeah, so let's wait for this transaction to go through. That was quick. And now we trigger the create transaction, which means it will take this 1000 DUSD from my wallet, transfer it into DIVA protocol, and will return me the short and long position. Okay, so let's do that. I click create. All right, now this transaction that I just described is being processed. And okay, so the transaction went through already. And let's take a quick look just to show you the steps that I just described. They're also visible here in the transaction. Wait a sec, not fully indexed. Now you see that the other two transactions. So basically you see here, I transfer 1000 DIVA USD to the DIVA contract, that's the DIVA contract address, and out of thin air, two position tokens, the short one and the long one are minted and then sent to my address. Basically, here I was the from and here I'm the to address. So this is, yeah, just to give you a little bit of insight on the transaction process. Then you see a new pool was created. So every time you create a new product, a new pool is created with an ID that increments, and the tokens have like basically an L for long and an S for short prepended. And yeah, you can also add them into your wallet if you want, so you don't have to import them manually. So let's add the long and the short token. So we were minted 1000. So as you remember, we deposited 1000 USD, and in return we received 1000 long and 1000 short tokens. So basically, one short token or the maximum payout of one short or one long token is one, right? So it's kind of like a standardization. You can also send half of that or just a fraction of that to some other address. So you can do whatever you want. It's just, yeah, the amount that you deposit as collateral is the amount or is the supply that you get in return for the position token. So I'll add that as well. And now these two things are in my wallet. So it's visible here because I just added them. But you can also go here and you will see these two positions showing up in your wallet. Now, obviously, we made the mistake that we choose expiration in one day. Now I cannot demonstrate the settlement. um, anyway, so what you can do now is, for instance, you can send one side to someone else. So let's say we created an insurance product and we want to donate that product, okay? We want to do something good and protect the farmer against the absence of rain. So we want to send him this short position, which will benefit if there's little rain reported at the end. So yeah, so that's the S product. And let's say we want to send it to account 16. We say that's just one farmer. So we select the short token and we can say send just 100, okay, instead of 1000. And we could, that way we could send these tokens to 10 different farmers and basically have them covered for $100 each. So I'm sending this now. And after this transaction goes through, if I switch the wallet to the farmer, so let's say test 16 as the farmer's wallet, the farmer will see this product now in his wallet. So he now owns his insurance product. So it's not held by any central party. It's held by him, and only he can go and claim the collateral if there is an insurance event. So let's wait for this transfer to complete. Okay. You also see that now my balance automatically reduced to 900. And you will also see um, that the farmer now has this product in his wallet, right? Uh, Also here he can add this to his MetaMask wallet so that it shows up like here. And now he would need to wait 1 day um, until someone reports the value. So we don't want to wait 1 day. So let me briefly repeat the steps and create um, as another product. And let's probably connect to the previous account. All right, let's refresh the page. Rain amount MLV2. Um, Today is the 6th, and we want it to be expire um, in 6 minutes. Like 5 minutes expiration is the minimum here in the app. That's why I put 6. We use our address for reporting. We approve. So I'm going fast now because it's basically the same steps that I described in detail before. So again, approve. You can avoid doing this approve every single time by basically entering a large amount, collateral amount at the beginning, going until this step, approving, and then instead of creating, you go back and reduce your collateral amount. So that way you will approve a large amount. So basically you will allow the DIVA protocol to move the tokens up to that large amount. So if you just create pools with small amounts, you can save that transaction in the future. Just consider best practice to approve only that amount that you're going to spend. So approving an unlimited amount is typically not recommended because you might lose all your funds in case of a hack. All right, the product is being created. Okay, that was created. You can ignore that message. So if I go to my positions, okay, you see that displayed here. So let me add both to my wallet. Let me add that as well to my wallet. And now let us send all the short tokens to the farmer. Let's just do one farmer. Okay, he already received our version 1 product. Now we will send him our version 2 product. All right. So this is the short, and how much did we do? Oh, we put 10,000. Okay, no worries. So we'll send that side to him. So this is now being transferred, and it will show up in his dashboard shortly. So as I mentioned before, we're using DUSD as collateral, but you can use any ERC20 token as collateral. So also wrapped ETH, for instance, that you find in the dropdown. All right, now this was sent. So if I switch to test account 16, I'd expect to see 2 positions, which I do. Now you see this product expires in 2 minutes. That means in 2/3 minutes, the product will expire, and that's basically time at which the outcome of the underlying reference asset will be observed and then reported by the reporter. So as you remember, we selected our own account as the reporter, and I'm going to demonstrate to you how the reporting can be done via the app. So you don't have to run any code in order to report a value. If you are an individual data provider, obviously, if you do it via a decentralized Oracle solution, then yeah, and you want to participate in this decentralized Oracle network, then yeah, it's basically running a script. But for human reporters, everything is in the app. So if you select a trusted third party to report the value, they can simply do it here via the app. They don't have to set up any tools on their end. So let's wait. Okay, it says less than 1 minute. Almost there. Then you also see here the status. If you mouse over, it says pool has not yet expired, right? And you see your balance, and there is no payoff because there was also no final value reported. You also see that my account now has 2 pending reportings under data feeds, right? So this is because we selected this account to be the reporter. So if I switch to, say, the farmer's account, he won't see anything, right? He doesn't have anything. He was never selected to report any value. That's why he doesn't see anything on the data feeds. All right, so now you see this button now got deactivated, and let's quickly see here. Okay, and the status now changed from open to expired. That basically means, yeah, the expiry date has passed, and now the settlement process has started. Now here you see same status expired, and you see that now the reporter has 24 hours to report the outcome of that event, right? Now let's do that, and yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's say the outcome was, I don't know, it was only 350 milliliters, right? So not so the farmer will not receive the maximum payout because that would happen at 300, but something close to the maximum in that case. So let's submit the value here. Okay, now this is now an on-chain transaction, so we're submitting 350 to the DIVA protocol. What DIVA protocol does now is it takes 350 million, it takes the payoff profile that was configured for that particular product, and it will calculate the payout for both the long position token holders and the short position token holders, which are the farmers in that particular case. So let's wait for this transaction to go through. Okay, I went through. Perfect. Now you see the status has changed from expired to submitted. So basically indicating, and here this is from, sorry, this is now, we are in the, not in the farmer's wallet, in the reporter's wallet. So now you see also the farmer would see, okay, now a value of 350 was submitted, which would basically mean that I get a payout of 7,500. Now you may wonder, why is there a challenge button? DIVA protocol has an optional challenge mechanism, which the reporter can activate when when they submit a value. So basically, when someone submits a value, they may say, okay, I will submit that value and it's subject to review by everyone who holds the position token. So here, the farmer, right? And right now, it's a default option in the app, so you cannot basically deactivate that. That means you will always see this challenge button popping up after a value has been submitted. We may change that at some point, but for now, just remember that a farmer has some time to challenge that, and it's typically 48 hours. And yeah, if there is no challenge after 48 hours, this value will be considered the final one, and the farmer can redeem the full 7,500 US dollars. If there is a challenge, if I like, I would challenge if I disagree with the value that that the reporter has reported, right? And yeah, so we will have to add the option that you can also submit without being challenged, because sometimes there might be processes or challenge mechanisms defined outside and you don't need it. So for instance, if you use like an Oracle solution, like a decentralized Oracle solution like Teller, so there the challenge mechanism is automatically deactivated because the system cannot realistically review values and resubmit something else, right? So that's why there it's automatically deactivated. Here it's activated by default. Okay, so that was kind of like a long story. Now we want to get this settled right now. And the way to do that, it's a workaround just for demonstration purposes. I'll challenge that value. And then the reporter resubmits the same 350. And with that confirms the pool. And with that, farmers can redeem their position tokens. So it's a shortcut, and which we will use in this demonstration to speed up things, right? Um, okay, let me do that. Let's say, I don't know, the farmer thinks it was 360, or sorry, 330, for instance. So that would trigger a transaction, but that would not overwrite the value here. So it would simply emit it as an event. So it would lock it on the blockchain, and it will be visible to the reporter, as I will show you in a second. So this is now being challenged. Okay, that was done. So theoretically it should switch to challenged. Sometimes it takes a while to yeah, to get reflected. Now you see the status changed to challenged. And for some reason the second position disappeared, but I'll take a look later. Yeah, okay, and now we go back to the reporter. Okay, that was our test wallet 15. Now the reporter sees here, oh, that was challenged, and someone says it should be 330, right? So the reporter sees on their end what value is proposed or suggested, right? So if there are more farmers that challenge the values, they can do so. And if someone thinks it should be 320 or whatever, then the reporter would see all the different suggestions here in this view. Now, as I said, we want to accelerate that process, so we don't want to wait 48 hours. So we basically can do that by just reconfirming what we have submitted before. And with that, it will confirm the final value and the payoffs, and everyone can start redeeming. their share, which I'm going to demonstrate to you in a sec. So now it's being challenged. All right, so yeah, okay, so now what happened is by sending the same value and reconfirming it, it no longer shows up here because it's now considered confirmed and it doesn't display here anymore. But if I go here, this is now the reporter's position. So it's just happened in that tutorial that the reporter is also the one that submitted the cover, but from a farmer's perspective, if you go here, you also see you also see now here the final value has been confirmed, and now you can start redeeming their position tokens. So he now knows he will receive $750. So now we can redeem, but before we do that, let's quickly add the address. And 1 sec, I'll pull the address from here. So that was the trading page, which is not relevant. It's just to import the address into that wallet to demonstrate to you that doesn't like me to add. Come on. I want to demonstrate to you that the balance, the DUSD balance of the user will go up by 7,500. So let me quickly do it again. A little bit confused that it's not working. So I'm trying to import the now it recognized it. Okay, so you see I have 100, the farmer has 100 DUSD already in their wallet. I pre-funded that before, so that's why. And now we would expect this to go up to 107,500 minus some fee, which we currently implement. When we go on mainnet, we might deactivate that fee, so that's still subject to discussion. So now we are going to redeem that. So now the farmer lost, basically incurred a loss on his harvest and will get compensated with $7,500, which he can claim himself. So he doesn't need to trust anyone to send him the money. He owns the claim himself and he can redeem it at any point in time. So he can also like claim it in a month or two. So there is actually no deadline for the farmer. So let's see whether that worked. And awesome. So you see almost 107,500. And as I said, there is some fee attached to it currently in the test app. When I go on mainnet, we may want to set it to 0 to bootstrap the protocol. So yeah, so now this position disappeared because it now expires, and we try to keep it light and basically do not display all the data that is no longer relevant, which is the case for everything that has been claimed already. And now the farmer, or sorry, the one that created the cover can now recover 2,500 out of the 10,000 that he initially deposited. So he can redeem that now. He can redeem that now. And he can now reuse that 2,500 to create new products. So basically to create a new series of this rain amount product and donate the short side to the farmer. Yeah, that's it. I hope you liked it and the process is clear to you. Yeah, please leave your comments in the comment section and thanks for watching. Bye bye.